Welcome back to the Red Line Podcast. Thank you for anybody who listened to the first episode. Me and Matt here back for another one.
Yeah, this episode we're probably going to talk about mainly draft night, the Celtics picks, what they did right, what they did wrong, a little bit about Kyrie Irving. Some details came out that he didn't like the city. I guess we'll start with that. Kyrie saying he didn't like the city life. He didn't like Boston. I don't think it was just the fans. I think it was literally just him living here, which I find.
Big issue was his traffic. Traffic was a big issue to him.
I just think that's just like the most BS I've ever heard.
And that's what the kind of league's evolving to, though. I feel like people want to go to L.A., Miami. People want to go to those places where you can have fun in the off season.
Yeah, it's not much about winning anymore, except for like the few players
like Danny Ainge said,
truly want to win,
that actually care about the game would die to play in Boston.
Yeah,
you would die to play here. It's so 17 banners. In the rafters. When Isaiah that's how you know when a culture is really like important. When Isaiah Thomas basically just got dumped in Cleveland and got traded around and still wants to come back to Boston because that's how much like Boston meant to him. Like that's how important the fan base was. Like that's how loyal our fans are. I mean, most players, if they actually care about the game, they have a home during the season and after the season.
Yeah.
You live at your home in the city in which you play for during the season.
Like these guys make millions of dollars. I don't see why you can't just
their job.
Move.
It is their job to play basketball, and they're complaining about the city in which they play in.
Yeah. I mean, the only time you're really going to have like days off are All-Star weekend, which you're mainly just going to be in wherever the All-Star game is taking place.
If you're lucky enough to make it.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to make it. Or wherever you want to spend a week at. Also, you're going to be and then in the off-season, you're going to be in L.A. Like, Jason Tatum literally like spent last season's offseason, this season's offseason, and wherever the fuck he wants to go. Yeah, we'll train with Kobe. That's like, but besides the point.
I don't get how just the location in which you play, that shouldn't affect how you feel about the team.
Yeah.
And if that's his excuse as to why he didn't like Boston, so be it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It baffles me that would literally be a reason why. I get it, like I kind of get it, for self reasons why you just want to leave just because, like, you don't like the city. But if, like, I guess it was like,
their job, also, though. That's the thing. They get paid to do this.
There was a thing on Zolak and Bertrand, local 98.5 show, that they got audio of a guy who sounded basically exactly like Kyrie Irving, defending Kyrie Irving, and he kind of stuttered a bit, saying they should have welcomed
me.
Yeah, he almost said me, and then backtracked and said defending him.
And then there's all these rumors that Kyrie's in Tokyo. It's not him, but
yeah,
I don't know.
ESPN report. Yeah, I don't.
I know you don't want to jump the gun and say it was him.
Yeah,
nobody knows, but I would not put it past Kyrie Irving.
They eventually got the audio back and then like replayed it, and one of the guys was like, "Oh my God, that's him!" Like, and they weren't even talking about his voice; they were just talking about the mannerisms, like the way he talks, like the the pauses and stuff, the way he like kind of carries himself.
That is certainly something I would not put past Kyrie Irving.
I wouldn't put it past him. I've always thought that too. Like, if players really listen to sports radio, and I guess
he's been
it's true,
pretty quiet about the whole thing too.
Yeah,
really quiet. So maybe that was his coming out party.
Yeah, maybe. But let's get to the real stuff, the draft. You get the list of the players we actually drafted, not including trades.
So at the 14, Romeo Langford, a guard from Indiana. Then 22, Grant Williams, forward from Tennessee. At 33, Carson Edwards, a guard from Purdue. And at 51, Tremont Waters, guard from LSU, and he's also a New England native coming back.
Yeah.
I believe we traded. What was it? We traded the 20th pick to Philly for number 24 and 33.
Which was Carson Edwards would be the 33.
Yeah, number 33.
Could be the steal of the draft.
Yeah. Philly ended up picking, or it was either we picked and then traded, or Philly just picked them by themselves. Matisse, I don't know what the fuck his name is. Thibault.
Matisse Thibault.
Matisse
Thibault. Yep.
Guard from Washington. Then we ended up trading the 24th we got from Philly to the Suns along with Baines for a Milwaukee 2020 pick. I'm gonna miss Baines, but we had to dump his contract. Speaking of contracts, if Terry Rozier, if we don't sign Terry Rozier back, then what's it called? We have like $34 million left in cap space.
Yeah. That'd be nice. leave us some room for a big free agent.
Yeah, either a big free agent or a lot of key role players that we can, or like a lot of vets that we can train up these young guys.
I think it's pretty much a certain that Terry Rozier's gone. I mean,
I don't see why we would want him back.
He went on with Stephen A. and bashed the Celtics.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd be coming back after all that.
No.
He even said it. He said, Stephen A. said, if you had the chance to run it back, would you? And he said, no, I think I'd have to go.
Yeah.
So, we're going to need, maybe we do need it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about Romeo Langford, the 14?
If I'm being completely honest, I only heard him a couple times.
He was likely a top 5 pick coming out of high school. And he was ESPN's number 1 shooting guard in the class of 2018.
Yeah, I won't lie. I didn't really hear of Romeo Langford until obviously when we picked him. I heard his name a couple times. What was it? The ACC Player of the Year or something like that, or whatever it was. There was like something like that.
Something like that. But he started 32 games. He averaged 16.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he had that torn thumb ligament.
Yeah, he played through it.
Played through it.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's 6'6", 215 for shooting guard.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big shooting guard.
I'm hoping he runs a little bit of point guard because
at 6'6".
Well, I mean, Lonzo's 6'5", 6'6". Ben Simmons 6'10". I mean, the point guard position's getting bigger and bigger.
It is.
But regardless,
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
If he can run some point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Carson Edwards at point guard. I mean, Carson Edwards.
I'd probably have to keep him down for
42 points in the Elite Eight against Virginia.
Yeah.
Just this past season.
I mean, there's always those guys that come alive.
He's a scorer for sure.
Yeah. Well, do you know what he averaged this season?
24.3. Junior.
Yeah,
24.
He's a junior. He's not even a freshman.
No, he's a junior. He's a little bit older compared to the guys.
That's also the thing that worries about me. I mean, you got these guys who I
think it was 24.3.
Yeah.
And I saw something as his freshman, sophomore, and junior. As he went up, he progressively started scoring more points.
Yeah. You see the improvement, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And I would love to have a scorer running point guard. I mean, him and Romeo Langford, I think they were good picks.
Yeah. 24 points per game, 3 assists. And that's another thing that worries me about
3 assists.
Yeah.
This team doesn't really move the ball.
Already. Yeah, we didn't already move the ball, and to put a guy who just scores the ball as a tier list scorer. He kind of reminds me of Derrick Rose coming out of college. Maybe not the explosiveness, the dunking ability, but the slashing type of player. And I think that those type of players are slowly moving out of the league, and the more the shooters are coming in.
We definitely, we could have used a pass first point guard with our team. Tatum loves to shoot the ball. Jaylen Brown loves to shoot the ball. Even Gordon Hayward loves to shoot. That little step back, whatever the hell he does.
Yeah.
Loves that. I mean, I still like the pick. I think he's a steal.
No, I do like the pick.
They got him at 33. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, I like the pick for the time that we picked him. Definitely.
This draft class is getting a lot of hate. A lot of people questioning what they were doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
6'7" Grant Williams
besides the past couple of years. I mean, like ever since I think it was like, I mean, we picked Marcus Smart with number 6, and he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
love Marcus Smart.
Who else was in that draft class?
I mean, this draft class this year, it wasn't the deepest of draft class. It wasn't. This draft class
it was pretty top heavy. I think there's a lot of good role players at the end of the draft, but none that can like
someone like Carson Edwards.
Yeah,
I think.
But I mean, I wouldn't want a. I mean, you always want like talent.
What do you think about the Grant Williams pick, 6'7" forward from Tennessee? What do you think?
I don't know. I just I think we already have Robert Williams, and I get we need a big man, but like, you know.
Yeah, with Baines out now, I think. Can't hate it.
Yeah, I mean it was an okay pick. I think I think first of all, I think Bol dropping was a travesty.
Going to at 44 to Miami and then getting traded to Denver.
Yeah, it was
44.
That was just foul.
I mean, I love the Taco Falls. They signed him to an Exhibit 10 contract, so he's basically just on the team for the summer league.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love the fact that he's getting a chance to prove himself.
Definitely.
I mean, the guy's 7'7".
I mean, if Michael Porter Jr. and Bol both work out, the Nuggets look like geniuses for picking Michael Porter Jr. predicted to be top 10 at 14, and Bol predicted to be lottery, maybe late round in the second round.
44 and traded for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's good company with Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
But
back to the Marcus Smart draft. I mean, there were some names after him, like on Danny Ainge's drafting ability. So Julius Randle was picked after him. It's a good pick.
I would take Marcus Smart over Julius Randle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
if you're looking at
Zach LaVine was picked at 13.
But Marcus Smart is more than
Zach
just
LaVine
talent.
Over Marcus Smart.
Like, he's the heart. He brings heart.
He does.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. I love like we said it last episode. Marcus Smart shooting all those threes. Yeah, it gets on my nerves. But he brings the heart to the team.
Speaking of Denver, the draft class that Marcus Smart was in, Yusuf Nurkic was picked at 16. Denver trades for him. Gary Harris was picked at 19. Denver trades for him.
Gary Harris had a hell of a season this year. But like I was saying about Marcus Smart, he goes beyond talent. I mean, look at
Clint Capella was at
25.
Look
at when he went down. I mean, the Celtics, they just weren't the same team without Marcus Smart. That's what he brings to the table. That's why Marcus Smart is one of my favorites.
Well, to be fair, they weren't the same team because Kyrie Irving was just toxic.
Well, after that Orlando loss and Kyrie Irving calling out his teammates, I think that's when it all started to go downhill.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it was just a roller coaster ride all season. That's why I'm excited to bring in these young guys that, they seem humble.
Definitely.
Like they all want just to get a chance. That's from what it seems.
I remember seeing this on Instagram. The Celtics, Romeo Langford, the Celtics reported saying about his approach to the season. When I get there, I just want to be a sponge, basically. I want to get all the knowledge from the players to prepare for the season, which you always want to see in a rookie. And I feel like a lot of rookies do say that.
And that's what I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown like to hear.
Yeah. And I feel like a Jason Tatum could benefit from bringing in like a Kendrick Perkins to be an assistant coach, is what I was hearing as well.
The way I'm looking at it is you got these 4 draft picks coming in. You got still a young core. I mean, Jalen, Jason. You still got them. They're still a young team. I don't think Gordon Hayward's really that established veteran to lead a team. I don't think so. And so
I think he led Utah to. I don't even think he led Utah to the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken.
No, he did. He did
once.
Yeah, once.
Yeah.
But I loved Gordon Hayward in Utah. I wasn't as big on him as many other people, but I loved him in Utah.
I was real big on Blake Griffin, but you know how that went.
Yeah, I wasn't really as big on him as other people, but I still love Gordon Hayward. I think he's a good player, and if he can be even 60% of the player he was in Utah, I'd love to see that. But he's just not that veteran. I think the Celtics need to use this cap space they have to get an established veteran.
I don't even know what they're gonna do with the starting lineup, to be honest.
No, it's
because if you're smart, you trade Gordon Hayward for something.
I don't think they will. And that's another thing. That's another thing that I heard pissed off a lot about the Celtics locker room is Brad favored Gordon Hayward because of their time at Butler together.
Yeah, he
force-fed him minutes, which he did. He definitely did.
And I mean, that's really the only way you can get back to what you were is to give you more minutes.
I don't blame
get back to what you were.
The young guys and this guy just gets force-fed minutes because of how he played at Butler, how he played on Utah. Don't get me wrong, Gordon Hayward was a good player.
Yeah,
but that doesn't need force-fed minutes when he's not scoring.
Yeah,
he clearly wasn't that same player.
Yeah,
he wasn't. They just plain and simple wasn't that same player. So with that said, I would not be giving him force-fed minutes, all because of that.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't.
Definitely.
So, but I'm not a big hate on the draft class. It's not terrible. I mean, Tremont Waters averaged 15 points a game, 2.5 steals and 6 assists in his 2 seasons with LSU, and Carson Edwards, we already touched on him, averaged 24 as a junior, dropped 42 in the Elite Eight. That's what you love to see. Even a guy like Grant Williams, I mean, 6'7". When you're gonna need those big guys to step up with Al Horford and Aaron Baines now out the door. So he was the SEC Player of the Year, twice, and he was a finalist for the 2019 Wooden Award. And I mean, he only averaged 6.5 rebounds a game through his 3 years at Tennessee, but he had 160 career blocks.
Yeah.
So, Robert Williams and Grant Williams, the Williams squared blocking shots.
I think Robert Williams would be pretty beneficial to the starting lineup.
I think so. I would love to see Robert Williams get some minutes. We touched on that last episode.
Yeah. I'd like to see him at least get more minutes. He doesn't have to be a part of the starting lineup. You can always get a vet big.
Assimilate him in there though, for sure. He needs more minutes than he got this year.
I think if you work on his jump shot this offseason, because I was like I said last episode.
Robert Williams.
Yeah. In the summer league, he was he had a pretty nice mid ranger. I didn't see him shoot too many threes, which does kind of worry me about how Brad might put him in the lineup, because he Brad Stevens favors the big man who can shoot. And
now what do you think about this? Marc Gasol opts out of his contract today.
Yeah.
Pelicans want him. They're very interested.
Yeah.
What do you think about a guy like, if we can outbid the Pelicans, what is what you'd give up for Marc Gasol?
I mean,
he could be that veteran.
Depends on what he wants.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money I'd give up for him, because he is old.
He is old. I don't know if I'd give him. If the Pelicans are offering low, though, I'd outbid them.
I think be that guy. I think my max for Marc Gasol would probably be 25, and that might be a stretch.
It might be a stretch a little bit. Yeah.
Because he is up there in age. He has developed the 3-point shot, clearly, as people saw in the finals. But I mean, how old is he? He's 34 at least.
I mean,
he's getting up there in age. I mean,
I would love to see a guy like Marc Gasol, but you're right. I wouldn't pay too much for him.
I honestly, I might not even pay 25 for him, just because I honestly don't know what he'd be looking for. I mean, it's
like the fact that he wants to opt out of the, or maybe he's opting out to go back to the Raptors, kind of like how the
like Al Horford.
how Al Horford
we know
wanted
how
to do.
that worked out. So
Yeah,
let's start talking to him right away.
yeah.
But I mean, we were just on the topic of Gordon Hayward, and like, what do you think he can finally have a bounce back? He can bounce back to like we said, 60% of what he was.
I think last season near the end he kind of did bump up to 60% of what he was in like and sometimes he kind of looked like, you know, where like he got to the point where he was 80% of what he was. I don't think he's ever going to be 100%, not in this system. Maybe somewhere else.
To get his explosiveness back.
But I don't see him being 100% ever again.
You can see
if he rides out here, I don't see it.
I think he just like
trade him to Miami.
He was worried. He was worried at points. You can tell like if he had an awkward fall or anything, he'd come up worried.
Yeah.
And he was playing soft. And I don't blame him.
I mean, at this point, I mean, when we signed him, you know, IT was still on the team. The Kyrie trade didn't even happen yet. Then the Kyrie trade happens, and then people are saying like, "Oh, well, we can actually contend for a final if Gordon Hayward, you know, is what he really is." And then, you know, obviously he has that terrible injury. He comes back the next season, and he's just really not what he is. You know, and Kyrie, the locker room issues, all this stuff happens. But yeah, I
think the hype around them and the whole,
I think the hype
idea that they should have a shot.
The hype around this team this year was
too much for them. I think it was too much for them to handle.
Yeah, really was.
And it was a young group of guys.
I feel like all of them wanted to be a part of a big three, and there's like 7 mouths to feed, and all of them wanted to be the top 3 players on the team.
To score.
Yeah.
And they also all wanted to win.
Yeah.
They weren't playing together. They were playing against each other.
I mean, they were all playing like they were all, you know, that guy, and only a few of them I could consider potentially being that guy. I consider Kyrie Irving obviously could be that guy if he just wasn't, you know, an absolute cancer as a person.
Yep.
Jason Tatum, I think, can be that guy.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown, I think, can be that guy.
I think just the hype around them just got to them.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how to handle it.
They really didn't.
And that's what brought them down. I mean, you also had Kyrie Irving trying to lead the team like an NBA Finals team, and that's not Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
He's just not that leader.
I will say this about Kyrie Irving. I don't think he is. He's definitely not a leader, like you said.
No, he's not.
But
not that kind of leader.
He hits the big shots. I will give him that. He does hit the big shots, and I think if he wasn't just so messed up mentally, like, you know, thinking he is that guy, he could probably be.
Again, we said this.
He could honestly be better than Scottie Pippen.
We said this last
like
episode.
as a second man, not overall player.
He does.
Obviously.
He hits those big shots.
But like as a second man, you couldn't ask for a better second player. Especially with LeBron, you couldn't ask for a better sidekick. I mean, maybe D Wade, but even like obviously because D Wade's proven himself more, he has a better defense ability. But LeBron was basically just like, all right, Kyrie, here's the ball, hit the shot, hits it right in Steph Curry's face. Arguably one of the biggest shots in NBA history.
Absolutely, and you know we touched it on last episode that he's a baller. He hits big shots. He's got the talent.
Yeah.
No but question. What the Celtics are trying to do, where they're trying to bring these young guys, they're trying to build upon them.
Yeah.
That talent, I mean, the attitude it rises above the talent. The talent's not worth it if nobody wants to play with them.
Yeah.
It's a team sport.
And it really is.
They're not. If everyone's not committed, they're not going to win. And
yeah, it's kind of like a Terrell Owens or Antonio Brown type of thing where they just like it can't work and it almost works. You know, Terrell Owens was probably the best player on that Eagles team against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. He was playing on a broken foot and had like 200-plus yards, but couldn't finish it off.
Kyrie had like 40 on Christmas.
And it wasn't necessarily Terrell Owens' fault. It's just like,
I think football
the way
and
the cookie
basketball in that
crumbles.
sense are a lot different, though, because like you got all 11 guys working together on a football team.
Yeah.
With, like, in which basketball, like, look, like
one guy can take over the game and
one
you can
guy
win the
can
game.
absolutely take over the game, but give them two.
Yeah.
What can two guys do?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing with football is that can't really use that as a comparison only because it's just like
well, I mean, like in terms of cancer to the locker
saying.
rooms and stuff like that, you know, just completely ruins the locker room.
I don't think I cannot give you an example worse than Kyrie. Like what he did. I mean, just like
how he just treated the team.
It wasn't even like.
And Danny Ainge came out and said like he has no problems with Kyrie, all that stuff. Like he was like a very stand-up guy when it came to like re-signing and stuff. You know, he like people were saying quote unquote ghosted Kyrie Irving. There
was another report this week that it came out with the one that he didn't like the city, that towards the end he had problems with the players in the locker rooms. He even had a problem with Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
Like that's I don't know. I wouldn't even want to see a guy like that back. I wouldn't. And as much as I love his talent, I love his game.
It is a talent league, but at the same time, you can't just have that type of cancer in the locker room. But we're not. I'm not going to hear and talk about Kyrie Irving the entire time. We can go on to talking shit about Kyrie Irving the entire time. I like the potential in this draft
class. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Let's talk about what's it called? Baines. That trade. The 2020 Milwaukee pick.
It's not going to be too high.
Yeah, I don't think it will be too high. I'm not sure if they do it by seeding necessarily, because if you win the NBA championship, you have the 32nd pick, correct?
Yes, I think.
I'm not sure if they do it by because I know in the NFL, regardless of what record you have, if you win the Super Bowl, you have the 30. Last pick.
Maybe they even take that Milwaukee pick and flip it and trade it for a team that's trying to get back on their feet. We're not necessarily at that point. This team still is competitive.
I really do think the East is wide open if Kawhi signs to LA.
People are counting out the Celtics already. This team is still going to be competitive.
If you can let Brad Stevens just do what Brad Stevens does with teams that
Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Amir Johnson, and who's the power forward on that team?
Al Horford.
Oh, Al Horford was the center. Al Horford was center. Amir Johnson was the power forward. How did I forget about Big Al? He forgot about us, so I don't feel bad. But he took that team to the Eastern Conference Finals. What can he do?
And he took Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, all them great players, but Terry Rozier overachieved definitely in that series.
Against LeBron.
Yeah.
To 7 games.
And in that point, I really think it came down to Kyrie Irving not being there. No, not at the game. I just mean like on the court. I mean, obviously he didn't show up to the game because he needed some dental work for his Uncle Drew movie or whatever the fuck.
Yep. I just think this is the team I just can't count out.
Yeah.
You can't count out. The East is just. The East doesn't have enough.
The East doesn't have enough talent.
It doesn't. And
I still don't see the Sixers beating us in any type of series. I don't see.
No. We own the Sixers.
Yeah, we own the Sixers.
I think Toronto,
if
Milwaukee, Toronto and Milwaukee, I think
if Kawhi if Kawhi leaves, Toronto's nothing.
Don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of fun with the social media and like watching all these Kawhi videos and all that, but
But it's time to
Get
get back.
him the hell out of the
It's
East.
time to get back to
'Cause
business and
if
start
he gets
thinking
out of
about
the
winning.
East, if he leaves the East, then I think Milwaukee's the one.
Yeah.
And then who the hell knows what happens with the rest? I think the Celtics still have a shot at the 2. It's gonna be. I think we're gonna be neck and neck with Philly again. I think, but I just don't see Philly beating us. I just don't.
I don't know if what's it called? I don't know if Milwaukee even will resign Chris Middleton. He's asking for a max.
Max deal. I mean, he's definitely a key piece on that team. Is he max money? No. No.
He's definitely a key piece, and I think
Let's not get ahead of yourself here,
he's
Chris.
kind of the. I mean, obviously next to Giannis, he might even be more the heart and soul of the Bucks because I think he's the longest tenured in that at least in the starting lineup.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Yeah, I've always been a Chris Middleton guy. I've always liked him as a player. He's never really.
I like Malcolm Brogdon. I love Malcolm Brogdon.
I like Malcolm Brogdon too. Before the season started his rookie year, I said I was like, he's probably going to win rookie of the year.
Middleton, max though. I don't think I would.
No. I'd probably try to talk him down or something like that to like maybe like 25 or something like that. Maybe like high 20s.
Yeah.
I mean Otto Porter's making $25 million a year, and he's like
the former Wizard, Bradley Beal, come to Boston. And he's on the Celtics trade radar.
Yeah.
I would love to see a guy like Bradley Beal. Come.
The Wizards are prepared to offer him like
They're gonna give him a lot of money.
$111 million for 3
They're
years.
gonna give him a lot of money. And they got John Wall out in half the season next year, I believe. With that,
I mean, if I'm them, I just move on from John Wall. I really do. I can't.
He's just a headache.
He really is. I mean, with his injuries and he can't really lead a team. And like I've heard people saying like, well, if he didn't have all these injuries, like he'd be a top point guard in the league. I'm just like, I mean, how top are we talking here? I mean, he really reminds me of just Damian Lillard before.
It's a lesser Damian Lillard.
Before he won this year. What was Damian Lillard up to this point? Just a guy who couldn't win in the playoffs consistently, or ever, at least. John Wall, 1 year, he got knocked out by the Celtics in 7, and then...
Yeah, they did take it to 7 there, yeah. I mean, we don't have Bradley Beal money, which I'm just saying, I would love to have him here. Unless
he just wants to come here for a shorter deal, which I don't think a lot of these players in the NBA do.
Which is just... How? Like,
once you get past like 20 million,
it baffles me.
Once you get past like 20 million, like what's the difference between like 20 million and 30 million? Obviously, it's $10 million, but like you already have just a bunch of that money. Like it's just like ridiculous.
Yeah, I would love to see a guy like Bradley Beal. Like I said, I will. It'd be awesome to see, but we don't have Bradley Beal money.
Yeah,
but. We got money for a veteran, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
And I don't think Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens or anyone in that locker room's counting us out, tanking. Not like
I just think as Celtics fans, we just got to be patient. Feel like this past year especially, winning that much, 3 finals appearances, 2 championships, 3 conference finals championships. I mean. We're so used to like winning in Boston that like we don't appreciate the Celtics for who they are, and this season obviously was like not much to root about, but their future, like if this is any other city, you're like, oh my god, we are going to like run the East in the future, which I fully believe we can run the East in the future with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
I understand
those
why
type of
fans
players
would be frustrated after this season with.
I'm frustrated after this season. I'm frustrated myself.
Definitely. With all the hype and all that, but the future's still bright, for sure.
Definitely.
And I think I'm not counting these guys out. As you said, they need to be patient, but I still think they're gonna hang around. Wait
like 2 or 3 years. Jason Tatum will be more developed. Brown will be more developed.
I'm not even gonna. They're still going to hang around this year.
No, they're going to hang around this year. I mean, like, winning championships, Give him 2 or 3 years. That's how soon I think they're going to win a championship.
Like I said, I just can't count this team out, and I refuse to. They'll be hanging around.
I'm interested to see if Brad Stevens can handle the all the egos that dwell around the team. Because I mean, this year was really it was really a showing for Brad Stevens to see what he is as a coach, and he really didn't provide at all. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat
His
it.
rotations were awful.
He really didn't provide at all. It wasn't even the rotations.
He let the locker room get out of hand.
It really was the matter of that.
Man, me and you talking mid-season saying they need to get into a fight.
Yeah.
They just need to fight another team, bring them together.
Something like that.
I mean, we should be hoping for that.
Yeah.
I think that Brad Stevens didn't, like you said, he didn't have as much control over that locker room as he should have.
Yeah, he didn't.
And, I mean, I still believe in Brad. I still believe in the direction in which this team's going.
Definitely.
Kyrie's just a minor hiccup. Same with Al. And, I mean, good for Al. Go chase that ring, baby.
Honestly.
Go chase that ring.
I mean, he's one of the only players I can say in the NBA that really, like, deserves a ring because of how hard he's worked. I mean, Marc Gasol, he finally got his this season.
I think anytime Al Horford's going to come back to TD Garden, he's going to get an ovation. Every time.
Whatever team he goes to, he's going to get a ovation. Definitely.
And then Kyrie
going to be booed. Like,
throw beers at him and shit.
Yeah. Like, when Tyreek Hill get a touchdown in Gillette, and then there was like 3 fans just flipping him off.
That's the thing. Like, Al Horford, wherever he goes, he's still going to be loved by Celtics fans.
He's going to be loved by everybody. I don't think anybody's ever hated.
How can you hate Al Horford?
How can you hate Al Horford?
He's scared of a ball off a free throw.
Yeah.
How can you hate that guy? It's like, it's just there was 2 different worlds. Like the way Kyrie handled things, the way Al handled things.
Yeah.
And I love Al Horford, and I'm going to miss him so much. But if he's chasing that ring, go for it, big guy. Go for it. Go do you. Because I would love to see him win one.
Definitely.
But it's going to be a big offseason.
I don't know where he would preferably want to go to if he wanted to win a
championship. So here's my thing, though. If Al Horford goes to a team, just like a shitty team, that they're trying to get back on their feet, like a team like...
I think that's a shitty move by Al if he wants to.
That would just show... If he does that, that shows them he doesn't care about the young guys. He doesn't care about being in Boston.
I don't think it shows that necessarily. I just think he was just probably...
He's
he might have been
quitting on the system.
He might have just been done with Boston because of all the drama that just happened, and I would completely understand that, except for the fact... I mean, Kyrie Irving is gone.
What if he goes to a team like the Grizzlies?
Yeah.
What if he goes there...
Or if he went to, like, Dallas or something like that.
Like Dallas, Memphis. Like, what if he goes to one of those teams to mentor those young guys? What does that mean to, like, the guys here?
You know, I feel like...
As much as I love Al Horford, I think I couldn't respect
I mean, Al Horford, I could respect him if I knew what was going on in the background, because we don't know what happens with Al Horford, you know. Maybe he tried to mentor some of these guys and they just wouldn't listen because Jason Tatum's getting coached by Kobe Bryant.
All we heard
Al Horford's not Kobe Bryant.
This Kyrie bullshit. Nothing else really came out. I feel like there was no positives.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
And I don't think it was necessarily that way. But if Al Horford does go in that direction and leave like that, I don't know how I'd feel about that. And I don't know how Tatum and Brown would feel like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I really hope Danny Ainge isn't looking for Gordon Hayward to step up and be that leader, because he's just not.
Yeah.
I think Gordon Hayward's going to have a better year than he did last year, but can't count on it. So I think this team's still going to hang in there, like I said, and it's going to be a big offseason.
Yeah, big offseason. Who do you think they should they sign someone? Do you think they shouldn't sign someone? If they were to sign someone, would it be a max deal? Like, would it be a max guy?
They got to sign somebody, and I don't think it would be a max. This free agency,
they're obviously going to sign a free agent, but
this free agency class it's loaded.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think the Celtics
get Jimmy Butler finally.
I don't know if the Celtics have what it takes to sign one of them, in my opinion.
Unless it's like an Al Horford type of player.
These guys this year, I just don't see it. Like Kemba Walker. He's not like an Al Horford, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris. I don't think Tobias Harris is at the top. I think he's in like a second tier of free agents.
I mean, even second tier guys are getting max deals though.
Exactly. But I don't know. I don't think the Celtics have what it takes to sign one of those big name guys.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be like more like a Ricky Rubio, like an Isaiah, back Isaiah. I think it's gonna be like one of those. I don't see like a Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Kemba Walker, any of them. I don't see any of them coming here. I don't think we have what it takes.
I would not really free agent, but a coaching signing. I was hearing Kendrick Perkins. I mentioned it early in the episode.
I would love that.
Kendrick Perkins becoming an assistant coach.
Yep.
I was hearing that around the.
That'd be awesome.
On Instagram.
We would need. Think about like, I can see Kendrick Perkins just yelling at those guys, just coaching them up nice. Because I don't know. I'd love to see that.
I don't think Kendrick Perkins isn't really like. He's not really that type of guy to yell at his person.
I think he is. I can see him doing that.
I think it was more.
He's a little fiery.
I think he was more It was more Kevin Garnett. I mean, Kendrick Perkins doesn't really have to yell because he's freaking huge. He literally looks like a freaking thug.
I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a big offseason. Danny Ainge has a lot on his plate, but I trust Danny Ainge.
Trader Danny.
Yeah, I trust Danny Ainge with all my heart. Put all of it on him. It's just like he's proven to us before that he can do these type of things. He's a smart guy, and I trust him 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone else I'd trust more.
Probably going to be wrapping up soon, but just for a quick minute, I wanted to touch on Chris Sale last night.
Last night. Yeah.
We got the win. Christian Vasquez
playing like an all-star.
Yeah, he really is. Go out there and vote Christian Vasquez.
Vote Vasquez. Vasquez and
but
Bogart.
Sale
Devers
in the first 2 innings had like 50-something pitches in the first 2 innings.
He didn't look himself.
5 walks.
He just looked off.
He did look off. He's been looking off all season, and he'll have.
I feel like this game was just a little different.
Yeah,
he just looked a different kind of off. If that makes sense. I mean,
his his strikeouts were fine. I mean, he had like.
But he walked a lot of people.
Yeah, he walked like 5 people. He had like 3 strikeouts though. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, how about Devers continuing that run? He was supposed to be on the day-to-day, I think it was his knee.
Yeah.
Pinch hits, knocks in a run.
Yeah.
And I think it was the tying run.
Yeah,
Devers knocked in the tying run, if I'm not mistaken, and then Christian Vasquez goes opposite field.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch last night's game. I checked it when I went to
10.
10. Yeah, I went to 10.
7-5. 7-5.
Yeah,
Sox.
I believe so.
Yeah. I mean, they're looking themselves again.
Yeah.
Offensively.
I mean. Offensively, they've always been fine. It's not always, but
not always. I think
they're shaky, but like they've always had the talent there, definitely.
For sure. It's not much changed offensively.
Oh my God.
What?
It's 8-6, Blue Jays.
Oh my God. Live reaction here.
Yeah, live reaction. We were up 6-0 in the third inning, and now it's the 8th inning. And the Blue Jays had a 4-run 7th inning, and they're on a 3-run 8th inning as of right now.
And that is the bullpen for you.
That really is the bullpen.
When did Brian Johnson come out? I know he was the starter today.
Brian Johnson pitched. He only ended up 1 run.
Yeah, I like Brian Johnson. I think he's good. But oh man, that's that bullpen again. Strikes again.
Yep. I don't even know.
Pitched it out. Who else pitched?
I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Second guy on there.
Let's see. Oh, Sharon,
Walden. He let up 3 runs.
Brazier and Barnes.
How much did Barnes let up?
Barnes 2. 2 from Barnes. God. None from Brazier right now.
Barnes
has been kind of a rock.
I've never trusted Barnes. He's really been terrible.
Some live reaction for you.
Yeah. I knew we were going to have some live reaction. I was going to put it on the TV, but, I didn't feel like it. And I like when we went up 6-0, I was like, all right, we should get the win. But
he said
it was, and then it was in the 3rd inning.
So we'll be back. We'll be down 7 or 7.5 after today.
Oh no, it'd be
Six
six and a half, and then
half.
6 if the Yankees lost. But now it's just, you know,
Oh my
6
God.
to 7, and our bullpen just absolutely choking again. It's ridiculous.
No.
And I think, I mean, we're definitely hitting. We're getting 1 by Nunez, 2 by Benintendi, 1 by Holt, 2 by Bradley,
Chavis, my guy.
I keep calling him Chavis. Chavis. He's got a hit. Vasquez got a hit. Devers didn't really pitch. Devers didn't really hit today. But
So
yeah.
yeah.
But
Watch some of that game.
I think that'll be pretty
That's
much
it.
it. You know.
That's it. Well, we'll be
no.
back. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we'll be back later
We'll be
this
back,
week.
yeah.
You know, on probably more on Red Sox, more Celtics
Right before
stuff.
All-Star break, we'll be back for some more Red Sox. So
Yep. But yeah, go
you for
out there
listening.
and vote for Devers.
yeah,
and, Vasquez.
go vote for some of the Red Sox. And,
No.
We'll see if we can come back here.
Catch you guys later.